initiated like a few decades ago, but it wasn't truly successful until the late 2000s, right? So crypto or say Bitcoin was conceived during the same time. The basis of Bitcoin's creation and all virtual currencies that have followed Bitcoin was to fix a number of perceived flaws or issues with the way money has been being transmitted from one party to another. What are the flaws? I mean, I send money through a bank and people get it. But there are actually a major set of flaws, which probably we as retail users don't realize. For example, think about how long it can take for a bank to settle a cross-border payment. Today, if I send money from, say, the Middle East to my country, right, at times it takes 2 days. If it's a weekend or a festival, it takes probably more than that, right? If there are some document issues or something, then it might take even maybe a fortnight, right? And as I speak, we still face a similar problem whenever we are doing a fiat money transaction, even today. All right. So as I was saying, cross-border settlements, our current financial institutions have been reaping the rewards of fees by acting as a third-party middleman. So whenever you transact cross-border, there is a fees which you pay, and there are conversion charges which you pay. So cryptocurrencies work around the traditional financial system through the use of the technology called as blockchain, right? Maybe I will not deep dive into blockchain because that's altogether a huge topic, right? But before I move further, I want to give a disclaimer that blockchain is not cryptocurrency, right? How do I explain that? So blockchain is the technology on which cryptocurrency as a use case has been built. Just like you use an Android phone or a iOS phone, the WhatsApp which you use on your mobile phone is an application, but the phone is Android, the technology is Android. Just like that, blockchain is the technology and cryptocurrency is one use case over it. There are multiple use cases. In fact, the Kerala government is exploring multiple avenues of putting land records on blockchain, supply chain on blockchain, your vehicle registrations on blockchain. In fact, they're also experimenting that can your college degrees be put on blockchain, right? So maybe we can have a session sometime else about that, various use cases of blockchain. I'll today stick to crypto and NFTs, right? And then but I'll still, what the heck is blockchain? So blockchain is a digital ledger. So it's a ledger where all transactions involving a virtual currency are stored. So if you buy a crypto coin, or say example a Bitcoin, or sell a Bitcoin, or let's say you use your cryptocurrency to buy a sandwich, and so on. So it will be recorded in a encrypted fashion in the digital ledger, right? And the same goes for any other cryptocurrency. So think of blockchain technology as the infrastructure that underlies virtual coins. As I was mentioning, it's the foundation of your home, while the any other virtual currency represents all the products built on top of that foundation, right? So cryptocurrencies are built on it. So there are a lot of cryptocurrencies getting built on blockchain. And so why is blockchain potentially a better choice than the current system of transferring money, right? When everything is going fine, why do you want crypto? Why do you want blockchain? We need to understand that first, right? So the simple answer to that is that blockchain offers a number of potential advantages, but it is designed to cure some problems. I will list probably three major problems of them. So three major problems with the current money remittance system. First, blockchain technology is decentralized. In simple terms, this means that there is not a data center where all transaction data is stored. Instead, data from digital ledger is stored on hard drives and servers all over the globe. The reason this is done is for two reasons. It ensures that no one person or company will have central authority over a particular currency. And second, it acts as a safeguard against any cyber attacks, such that criminals aren't able to gain control over a crypto and exploit its holders. Hence, it is decentralized, right? Just to connect it to the real world. So today, if we have money in a particular bank, and that bank goes bankrupt, right? So RBI has a clause that only to a limit they can safeguard your money. Beyond that, they can't, right? And which I'm not going to quote demonetization, here, but tomorrow it can happen again, right? So in fact, there's been a lot of conversation around cryptos lately, around the Ukraine and Russia war also. People are not able to access their money, right? Even if they have to move from their country, they cannot access their money. They might have a number of credit cards, debit cards, cash vouchers, money in the bank. Nothing works, right? In such kind of a scenario, it's only cryptos which hold value, works, or is helping them, right? Okay, I don't want to derail. Getting back to the topic. So as I said, the first reason is that it's decentralized. Second, that there is no middleman with blockchain technology, since no third-party bank is needed to oversee a transaction. The thought is that the transaction fee might be lower than they currently are. So if I have to send money from a country to another country, I don't have to pay substantial fees, right? Finally, transactions on blockchain network may have the opportunity to settle considerably faster than the traditional networks. So I am not quoting UPI here. I'm not saying that the likes of Google Pay, the Yuva Pay, Paytm and all of that, right? That is a fiat currency transfer. It happens in the same network. It happens instantly. Otherwise, the other bank transactions actually take time. So let's remember that banks have pretty rigid working hours, and they're closed at least 2 days a week or 1 day a week. And cross-border transactions, as I was previously mentioning, it becomes tough. So with blockchain, this verification of transactions is always going 24/7, right? So if you have electricity, you're sorted. You are not dependent on anything else. So yeah, those are three reasons. Again, I want to explain more of blockchain, but I will refrain from that, right? Maybe we can do another session on that.
Sir, I would like to ask a question, because you told about the increased security where you won't lose the money as such, but hasn't there been cases where their wallets has been hacked? Even recently there was a case, right? The wallets were hacked.
Yes, there has been. That's actually also the case with a lot of banks, right? So it is so if a particular platform has low security, right? So I mean, I as an individual or as a blockchain, I will not call myself expert, an evangelist. I always recommend people to keep their crypto assets or crypto funds in a decentralized wallet, and not in an exchange wallet where people can attack it. Okay. So hackers can attack, right? So because then it is actually dependent on somebody's level of coding which they have.
Okay.
So if a developer did some flaws, the attackers can actually attack it, right? And or maybe there can be a rug pull. I mean, people within the company, company which runs that wallet can do something wrong.
Okay,
right?
that makes sense. Yes.
Otherwise, as a tech per se, blockchain is super secure.
So it's mostly in the hands of the exchange that mistakes can happen. Okay,
that's correct. Okay. Now I'll jump on to that. Why do virtual coins or crypto assets or crypto coins fit into all of this and solve the major problem? So digital currencies are what investors are buying. We all know. So in nearly all instances, buying a cryptocurrency won't give an investor any ownership in the underlying blockchain technology. This happens to be one of the biggest differences between crypto and traditional investments like stocks. So if you buy a stock in a publicly traded company, you own a fractional percentage of that business. That's not the case with nearly all cryptocurrencies, right? So what do the virtual currencies do exactly? So in many instances, the coins are required or the cryptos are required to pay for transaction fees on a blockchain. say example Ethereum, which is one of the largest cryptocurrencies by market cap, uh, right, requires users of its blockchain to pay transaction fee in its own coin. So if you're doing an Ethereum transaction, you use Ethereum to pay, right? And but there are other potential applications also. For example, there's something called as Ripple. So Ripple may serve as an intermediary that allows transaction to settle faster. Ripple is also being explored and used by a lot of international banks today to remit money. Okay. So how should cryptocurrencies be valued? Let's jump onto that. Right? What is how is it being valued? Why are people using it? So truth be told, no one knows the answer to this because it's it's dependent on a number of factors. That how is it valued? A few of them include how quickly a blockchain technology is adopted by bigger businesses. So if tomorrow the likes of Facebook, Infi, TCS, Google, everybody decides that we're going to use Ethereum blockchain or underlying tech, which is Ethereum blockchain, or maybe Bitcoin or Matic or Solana. So that particular blockchain or that particular currency's value would definitely go up. The reason it's under use. So it's just like when we have a lot of usage of crackers in our functions and festivals in Kerala, right? The value of crackers go up because the demand increases, the usage increases, right? Just like gold. We South Indians relate to gold a lot, right? So same is with crypto. How quickly merchants are willing to accept cryptocurrencies as form of payment, which is not yet legal or approved by the government of our country, right? But there are countries where payments are accepted in cryptos, right? Then whether, as I said, government, that is an important factor, right? That whether governments around the world are accepting cryptocurrencies as a legal tender or not, or are they choosing to ban it, or are they choosing to tax it? So various reasons on which our cryptocurrency's value is dependent. All right. Now, something which I want to tell, which is a lot of times I get this question, is that why have cryptocurrencies gone up so much, or why have they come down so much? Again, there is no 100% correct answer which anybody can give, right? But the key in their success remains to a couple of factors. First, retail investors, that is non-professional investors like people like you and me, have accounted for most of the virtual currency tradings or cryptocurrency tradings. Institutional investors have kept to the sidelines because either their company won't allow them to invest in crypto, or they simply believe it's too volatile to merit as an investment, right? But retail investors tend to be more reliant on their emotions related to their feedback which they get from their friends and family. That leads to moves that tend to overshoot to the upside and or downside. So since there are too many retail investors into this, the cryptocurrencies prices go up and down too much. Another factor which I think is that it isn't exactly a fair market, probably among traditional equities like the stock market. An investor has the opportunity to buy, sell, and even bet against an equity. Money can be made if an equity moves up or down. With nearly all cryptos except Bitcoin, probably buying or selling is the only option. There is though there are platforms now wherein you can stake cryptos, you can hedge them and so on and so forth. Right. So these are a few reasons why their values actually go up and down too much. That's what I want to keep talk about crypto for now, right? Maybe we can jump on to what NFTs are, right? Anybody here who knows what NFTs are?
I think me and some of my friends here have gone into details about crypto and NFT, so I guess a few of us do know what it is.
Okay, all right. So all right, so I'll try and keep it simple, because I think I'm just speaking on and on, and since people are not getting to interact, it might end up being very boring for them.
We actually have an interactive session at the end, so they can ask all the
Yeah.
questions and stuff.
Yeah. So I'll try and wrap this up ASAP. So are people let's look at it like this way. So are people really paying hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars for a image, for a 5-second video, or a JPEG, and so on and so forth? Why are they doing it? Right? A Canadian musician recently sold approximately $6 million worth of digital artwork at an auction. Beeple sold a digital artwork for $69 million. Why is it happening? Right? So if you're wondering what is driving all the interest in NFTs, you're not alone. I also wanted to know, and hence we started building collection, and we are now in that space. So what is an NFT? So as you say, it stands for non-fungible token. So each NFT is a unique crypto asset that cannot be replaced with an identical item. And so an NFT is minted or / created as a representation of a digital or a non-digital asset. And NFTs can be trading cards, can be collectible trading cards, right? If you remember, we used to play trump cards when we were kids, of wrestlers or of cricketers. I don't know if you guys have played it. We definitely do. Used to, about cars, about guns. So there were multiple trump cards, right? So those were physical collectibles, right? So the same has taken a form of digital collectibles. It's just that it is more unique now. So previously, I can also have a card of Mr. Tendulkar. You can also have a card. It's the same, right? And it's not unique. I may or may not buy it from you. It doesn't have any value because there are unlimited available. With NFTs, it is limited availability. Whatever you have is unique, and it has a notional value to it also. Okay, so it can be GIFs, it can be music, it can be videos, it can be an animation, it can be a document, it can be signatures, it can be a car design, it can be an architectural design, it can be anything, right? So now, how is this different from a cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrencies are fungible. So you can trade one Bitcoin with another Bitcoin. So I give you one, you give me a Bitcoin, and we exchanged it, right? It's equal value, right? So, but an NFT is non-fungible. If I give you a Sachin Tendulkar's NFT, it may not be equivalent to a Big Show's NFT or Undertaker NFT, right? It is unique in itself. It has a relative value around it. You can't, it's non-fungible, hence it is called as non-fungible tokens. Right? For example, you having the pair of specs which you're wearing right now, Karthik, right? With me having this, I can, if I give it to you, it's not equal value because we both have put a different value to it, and both are unique, right? In a digital form. So how do NFTs work? So each NFT can only have one owner at a time. Of course, there are platforms which are getting built now, which are trying to do fractional ownerships. That if it is a very expensive NFT, can I have a fractional ownership of an NFT? Those are getting built. However, each NFT can have only one owner at a time, and ownership is managed using a unique ID and other metadata that can't be replicated. So smart contracts, which is built on blockchain, assigns the ownership and manages the transferability of an NFT. Currently, the largest NFT marketplace, are likes of OpenSea, Rarible, Foundation. Most NFTs are part of Ethereum blockchain. Right? So why is it important for people who are listening right now? So this, something like an NFT gives an opportunity to everybody to be a creator. So if they think they can create something which is unique. For the first time, there is something there is a technology which puts a value to it or can help you derive a value out of it. So if somebody is an artist out here who's listening, right? and he or she really thinks that my artworks are really unique, or somebody who's a musician out here, somebody who is a designer, somebody who animates fabulous videos, or a 3D animator. If they think they do fantastic work, right? Or for that matter, if somebody even makes a poem which is like extremely unique, right? They can actually use NFTs and put it on platforms like OpenSea and put a value to it and make money out of it. And plus they keep build a legacy around it forever, because a creator will always keep getting a royalty from his or her NFT made. So if today I or you create an NFT and somebody buys it, you definitely get that money. And from you, somebody else buy it, you will still get it. And from then a third person buys it, or a fourth person buys it, and the 10th person auctions it, right? You will always keep getting the value of an NFT which you built. So for the creators economy, it's a brahmastra. It's a nuclear, which, right? And there has been nothing better till now. Right. So now, why would you purchase an NFT? So why the hype around NFTs right now? Why would you actually go and spend your money on buying an image? So one of the benefits of buying an art or an NFT is that it lets you support artists and creators like you and me, right? Lately, I was reading a news that a 14-year kid made a NFT series and made close to $5.5 million. Look at the power which the technology blockchain is giving to you as creators in form of NFT, right? And I think it's making a lot of micro entrepreneurs in a way. So buying NFTs also gets you some usage rights, like being able to post an image online which you own or on social media. In our case, if you buy a collection NFT or a particular player's NFT, you get an access to it. So it's like an exclusive membership also, which exclusive features which you get along with it. So maybe access to a particular celebrity, right? Probably if they're performing in a metaverse, an exclusive access to the backstage along with them, a merchandise from them, right? Maybe a one-on-one session with them, so there are multiple benefits which come along with NFTs, which doesn't come along with any traditional. So if you will say that the same thing is available on YouTube. If you download a YouTube video, say Mohanlal comes up with an NFT, assuming, right? Which I'm pretty sure everybody will with time. Right?
Yeah, probably. Yes.
Right. So if say Lalitan comes up with his NFT, and the same is available, on Google Chrome or on Google Images, you download it, you have it. Just that it doesn't have any value. It is just a copy you have. But if you have that NFT, you have additional privileges of probably flaunting that this is my own, and this is only one. This is owned by me, and not just you know it. The world knows that who owns that NFT of Lalitan, right? And then it has a resale value. You put it on sale, somebody will definitely buy it because he wants to brag that he or she owns that unique NFT of Mohanlal.
Yeah.
Right. And then probably it depends on the platform. So in our case, we definitely give additional accesses, additional benefits. I would spend $1 million to get access to Lalitan. Who won't?
True, yeah.
Right. So that's the beauty of to buying an NFT. Okay. And I think so the biggest benefit of owning an NFT, however, is the bragging rights that come with it, and plus you have the ownership of a completely unique virtual asset authenticated by blockchain. So with more artists, creators, and entrepreneurs jumping in onto this really valuable tech, I'm sure to see even more NFTs hitting the market probably every month, every day.
Yeah.
So whether you decide to invest into it or not, it is definitely there. It's going to be there. for a while. And on top of it, all this metaverse which is coming into a picture, eventually these crypto assets or digital assets are going to be used in those metaverses. So look at the bigger picture. As we speak, of course, Facebook has renamed itself as Meta. They are coming out with their metaverse. So today, any content which you guys post on Facebook or on Instagram will have the potential to be an NFT. That's how you become part of their metaverse. Right? So it is all to, so Web3. So all of this, the superset is Web3. Right? Web 3.0 is the future or is the current tech which is the next revolution after internet. Right? And Web3 is incomplete, or the basics of Web3 are blockchain, crypto, and NFTs. So as early as the people get into it, the better for us. Right? So I will close on there, and I will open the forum for the folks to answer or question.
Yeah, sure. So now we'll be open to any questions that you may have for the guest. So do feel free to drop your questions down in the voice chat, or you're free to open up your mic and ask the questions.
And I think more importantly, for folks like you, for kids like you, this industry is giving out so much of opportunities, career opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, money-making opportunities, right? Exposure, access, right? So I think anybody who understands even a little bit of tech, little bit, or a little bit of finance, or a little bit of things like NFT, which is like unique, you should not miss the bus.
We actually have a junior who's working in blockchain. Like, he has a really impressive amount of stipend he's earning right now in the first year of college. So like, yeah, we already have someone working in it.
And I think let me otherwise tell you, Web3 in the Web3 space, Indians are doing really good. Indian startups in companies like Polygon, for that matter.
Yeah,
they have put us on a global map. In fact, so Polygon is also one of our investors.
Okay.
Right. And I can proudly today say that even Collection has put Indians on a global landscape around NFTs.
Definitely, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we as Indians, as Malayalis, as the engineers of the world, we should not miss this bus. And I'll be happy to be able to help anybody who's listening this, or else, to get in touch with me. And if I can be of any help, I'll be happy to.
Definitely.
Yeah, you guys can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, email, wherever. I'll be happy to help. Right. So open for questions, bro. I think I've made a brief. I think this is good to set the context. And I didn't want to do it as a workshop. It is more of an extempo which I did.
Yeah.
Right. But open to questions.
Yeah, I think everyone who has attended the session got an idea about what NFT and cryptos are. So yeah, we'll be open to questions now. So one question I got on my chat app is that, like, currently what are the largest investments in your wallet? Like, if it's not personal, like too personal, what are the things you have invested in the most?
Crypto you're asking about?
Yeah, crypto. What's like?
I'll be honest. I'm an avid believer of major two projects, which is Ethereum and Matic of Polygon. Okay. So I'll be open. I am a firm believer of that, and I think just like Android and iOS, Ethereum is the next mass scale iOS platform for Web3, and similarly is Matic probably. I don't want to call it Android, but I think Matic is probably the next Android of Web3. So I have been heavily invested in Ethereum and Matic.
Okay, that's interesting. I do have small amounts invested in Ethereum right now, but I did lose quite a bit of amount when the dip happened in December and Jan. But yeah,
it's okay. I think it's always part of the cycle. Right? I think with time it will get back to normal.
Yeah, hopefully. So let's see if anyone else has any questions. John, if you want, you're free to open your mic and ask a question to sir. Uh, I guess he's not comfortable with opening with his mic. So I'll read the questions out to you, sir. How are
Mhm.
NFTs booming? Can't people just take an SS and use it? That's a really common question, I guess.
You can just take an SS. You can't use it then,
Mhm.
right? It's like saying me taking a Joseph Sam's photograph and flaunting it. I don't own it. I am not you, right? You have not given me the rights, right? So it's just like that. You can take an NFT's photograph. You don't own it. You don't have a proof of ownership.
Yeah, good example, like a metaphor for this is that, like, if you print out the Mona Lisa and put it on your, what do you say, hall, it doesn't make it your property. Still, the original one is in lieu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. I can click a picture of your house and put it in my office. It's not. It doesn't become my house.
Exactly, yes, sir. So, Joseph, if you have any questions, you can go and ask.
Yeah, thanks for the chance. Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good
So,
evening,
yeah,
Joseph.
so in the beginning of your talk, you just said that cryptos are basically decentralized, and you also added to the point that no one particularly has a particular authority on cryptocurrencies. So, to that, I would like to ask something is that recently our Honorable Finance Minister in a budget said about the taxation on cryptos. So, what's your view on that taxation?
Okay. Okay. So, I've been speaking to a lot of news channels on the same. I think it's a welcome move from the community or the users of crypto. It's a welcome move because it is giving in more trust to the retail investors like me or anybody to say that okay, there is a recognition by the government since it is being taxed, right? So it's a welcome move from that perspective, right? However, am I really happy with the 30% tax slab? The answer is no, right? Because other asset classes are not put on are, are not heavily taxed like that. So it's an early stage. It's an early stage with more and more utility, of cryptos coming into picture, with more and more investors coming flocking into it. I think the government will relook onto the tax structure also. Overall, yes, the community is happy with the decision in this bill.
Okay, so thank you.
So another question I got in my chat is that, like, so if you want to go like basically go against the chat, I mean the tax, I'm pretty sure it's tax fraud. But like, if you send it to someone else in a country and like they withdraw it or sell it there, will the tax law still be applicable? But no, right?
So if you realize the money in your bank accounts, then yes.
So like, if you send it to someone else and they withdraw it, it's still applicable if they're not in India.
No, if they withdraw it and if they are not in India, it doesn't apply to them.
All right, sure. So that was another question I had. Normally we are used to having a lot more questions. I guess the people are still going through the concepts and stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. So these are majorly year 1, year 2 people.
Yeah, it's mostly year 1 and year 2, I guess. Others are
This is
having
the right time to
exams.
guys start learning. You guys are at the right stage to start learning. My mentors and others people tell me catch them young. So guys, catch it young, right? Right time to be in this space.
We'll wait for questions. Hopefully, a few more will come in. I guess it's mostly because, yeah, okay. There's another one from Sam. You can go and ask it, Sam.
Yeah, again, hi, sir. So what I wanted to ask was, I'm actually new to this NFTs. So I would also like to know a lot more in depth about NFTs. So what do you think are the best platforms that I can use to learn and also to create in the sense?
Yeah, so there are a lot of platforms, right? We are also going to be coming up with our own academy with time. However, for now, I would take names like OpenSea, You can go and make NFTs and upload NFTs and sell NFTs there. And things like Super Rare or Rarible. These are a few names which I would recommend. And if you talk about courses, then there are the courses on NFTs are actually available on Udemy and other platforms also. So you can definitely learn from there.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir.
So, sir, like since you have the applications, like the two apps you had co-founded, what makes it unique from the other apps in the current market? Like, what's the selling point of your apps?
So, with Collection to start with, Collection is a licensed NFT marketplace. When I say that, it means that the NFTs available on our platform or these top legends or celebrities NFTs available on our platform will be available only on our platform.
Okay.
Because we have an exclusive contract with those celebs.
So like you can only transfer it with people within your application.
Yes. So that is a clear-cut differential which we have, right? So it will be only available on our platform.
Okay.
Right. With Peza, we are a blockchain-based transaction platform, payments platform, right? So you can call it, if you want to simplify it, it is a Paytm on blockchain.
Okay. So like are the transfers done in fiat or like in cryptos?
Both. Okay. So it can function both borderless. So if the likes of MobiKwik and Paytm can only work in our subcontinent, India, with Peza it can work across the globe. Okay, so that's the real differential.
So like what is some changes that you want to make to the current like economic institutions like banks and stuff? What changes would you like to see in them?
I would like to actually see them implementing blockchain.
Okay, so like even for like normal transactions you prefer they use blockchain.
However, it's going to be tough for them because it actually makes them lose control.
Since it's centralized and stuff.
Exactly, but that's ideally, I see probably 50 years, from now, these transactions will eventually, anyways, be happening decentralized.
Yes. So yeah, that's about it for a session. So I'll be calling on Steve for giving the vote of thanks. Sorry, sir, we actually have another question, so we'll just go through that again. Thomas, if you can open the mic, otherwise I'll read the question.
Yes, I just wanted to know if, like, do the artists have any sort of a copyright over stolen art that has been converted into an NFT?
So copyright comes into picture when there is a copyright actually registered around it, or there is a proof of its, it being made by a particular artist. So for the copyright issues, NFT is actually a solution. So if you have put an artwork or anything which is unique as an NFT on a platform or on any particular blockchain, it has been registered there that you are the creator of it. Right, so the world can know it. The world sees it. It's that transaction. So the Genesis block is minted on your name, or on your wallet ID, right? So NFTs are actually solving that problem of IP right infringement. If you are asking that if some artist probably the artwork has been stolen and somebody else is using it, that is because he created it first on the blockchain. Right, and the original creator just put it has it on as physical copy only.
Okay.
But,
so the one
having said that, the original creator can actually reach out to the platform, right, and show the ownership of that he is the original creator, and if the platform is actually convinced, they will ensure that the infringed artwork comes down off the platform.
So is it quite an elaborate process, like to get back your art or something?
Too early to answer that. There haven't been much cases, but you can definitely give it a shot. I don't think it's going to be a tough one. If you have definite proof of you being the creator, I think you're sorted.
Thank you so much, sir.
So yeah, so we're almost at the end of our session. So like it was a great session. I got to learn a lot more details about the cryptos and NFTs, and I'm sure a lot of the newbies and the people who didn't know anything about the cryptos, blockchains, and NFTs got to know. So got to know a lot about the topics. So now I'll be handing it over to Steve to give a vote of thanks.
Oh, hey sir. Hey, Vipin sir. I'm Steve.
Hi,
I was the
Steve.
one who contacted you. And yeah, I would like to. It was actually our nodal officer, Mr. Rahul Manohar, who was supposed to. He wanted to talk to you, but due to some technical issues, he was here in this meet the whole time. But due to some technical issues, he's not able to talk. So on behalf of him and as well as each and everyone in this meet, I would like to thank you for giving such an informative session. Well, cryptocurrencies and NFTs are a bit of a new topic in our students as well as other people's here. And our participant count is a bit low, but I'm sure that each and every, or all those 52 participants here have had a quite an informative session, and I'm sure that they've got all that is about these NFTs and cryptocurrencies. And another thing is that, well, our thing is we are IEDs here, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. Our thing is that we promote entrepreneurship and innovation among students at our college as well as others all over Kerala. So, well, you are an entrepreneur and you might have had a lot of experiences in this field. So, would you be able to tell something to the students, to the participants here, that about your experiences? Or it will be really great, sir.
So I think entrepreneur, it's a choice. It's entrepreneurship is a choice which you make, and and I think there's no better journey than being an entrepreneur. It's all about. It's also about what is the reason behind you becoming an entrepreneur, right? In my case, it's about creating impact. It's about reaching out to 10 million lives and impacting them positively. Right, creating employment. So that has been my motto, my motive of getting into it. Right, multiple people have multiple ways of getting into it. I got into it using technology, right? Because I have love for the emerging tech, right? I want to create more and more impact. I want to create more and more success stories. So that was my reason. But yes. Easier said than done. Not here to demotivate, but it is a supreme roller coaster. Right, you will have adrenaline rushes day in and out. You will have anxieties day in and out. You will feel on top of the world on a day, and you'll feel you lost it the very next moment. Right. So most important is the persistence. Right, it's a very heavy word. But I think in Indians, persistence is pretty inbuilt, and you just have to scale it up to the next level to be a good entrepreneur. Stick to what you're building. Learn from others' mistakes if possible. Don't try and wait to make mistakes and learn from that. Right? Somebody has got into the pothole. Learn from him that how did you get out of it? Why did you, or how did you get into it actually? Right, and work. Just jump around it, that pothole. Right, listen to people and learn from people who have done something good in their lives. And a lot of times I also tell people, especially students, that try to be an entrepreneur at least once when you're in your college. At least once. Worst which will happen is you don't have much to lose, right? Worst what will happen is you will fail. Your startup will fail or your business would fail, right? Look at the positive side, right? You will become a fantastic manager. You will know too many aspects of running a business. So probably it will, and if you get, after that, if God forbid, if you fail, you are going to be a amazingly valued or a valuable employee to a company. Right. So at least, I keep telling this whenever I'm speaking to students, if you have even the smallest knack of being an entrepreneur, of doing something on your own, do it when you're in college. Right. The immense amount of learning which you get is impeccable. Right? It evolves you as a person. It it makes you learn how to deal with people. It teaches you how to mend relationships. It helps you to learn how to sell stuff, how to build stuff, right? How to solve a problem, how to tackle a major situation in your family. So it also helps you become a good multitasker. So there are too many benefits of it. So I would request Karthik, Steve, and you guys team to keep promoting this, right? And you should also see the how it has changed, how the entire ecosystem is changing. Previously, the average age of a founder was supposed to be anything between 32 to 40. 40. Now that average age has actually come down. The average age of a founder has come down to 29 of unicorns or successful startups. I will not say unicorns, but successful startup founders. Right? 29. Probably with time that will come down to 24. Right? So recently one of our syndicates invested in a startup and that founder is just 19-year-old. Right? So and I think 20 to 2030 is the era of Indian entrepreneurs. Right? So I think you guys are at the right stage. Keep the ball rolling. Right? Reach out for help. Right? Even if you think that the person you're reaching out to will not help, still don't stop yourself from writing that email or writing that message or writing pinging on him on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, him or her. Right? You might get a response. Right? And it's just one response which might change the journey for you. Right? And at worst, what will happen again, I would say, you will fail. So you would know that you are not meant to be an entrepreneur, but a better manager. Right? Do it now when less is at stake. So that's my but yes, I really look forward to probably see all the people on the session as entrepreneurs, right? Wherein we as a country have clocked 44 unicorns by now, right? I'm sure probably maybe we will cross another 100 this year, and probably next time when we speak, maybe next year or in a couple of years, we would have one of the unicorn founders from this session. So all the best for that.
Yeah, sure, sir. And well, we have TBI, Technological Business Incubators at our college. That is, we have a few startups from outside who is working at our college, but in their own way, and they'll interact with the students. And we do know how all these entrepreneurs are working too hard, and we can really relate to this with what you said and what they said. And with that also, we had this program, this workshop called Keep. That's when we met Vishnu Nagaraj sir, and that's from him we got you. So I would like to also thank Vishnu Nagaraj sir. I think he is in this meeting. Sir, are you here? Maybe some technical issues, I guess. So, but once again,
Vishnu is also doing a great job. Right. I am also being part of CSL, which is his company. Okay, right. He's doing a great job in supporting entrepreneurship and startups across the country, not just Kerala. Right. Yeah. So thanks for having me, on the session, Karthik, Steve.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. So have a good evening ahead. And keep doing good, keep safe. Thank you.
You too, sir. It was a pleasure to have you on board with us.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. So everyone attending the session, we would appreciate if you could fill in the feedback forms. It is dropped down in the chat. Do fill it in, please. Thank you. you guys were a great audience, and we really appreciate you guys for joining us today.